You can't live long in Portugal without somebody mentioning that you must learn how to cook caldo verde. It's the national soup of Portugal. It's a really historic dish and it fed the country on some really simple ingredients. I went to my local butcher and just before I was leaving, he gifted me a wonderful chorizo. And it smells absolutely gorgeous, smoky and delicious. And this is one of the main ingredients in the soup, along with the Portuguese cabbage. And in UK, I think they call it collard greens. It's a no oven required recipe, which, as you know, at the moment suits me down to the ground. So, cabbage, we need some stock, salt and pepper, chorizo, onions, potatoes, garlic, and also, very important, delicious olive oil. So let's start by prepping the ingredients. I'm going to start by peeling the potatoes and then I'm going to dice them up. I've got a pot of salted water, so when you peel the potatoes, pop them into the salted water and then the potatoes won't go brown because they will oxidise in the air. And obviously it takes a little while to do your prep and peel potatoes and all the other ingredients. These are just white potatoes, and a good waxy potato works very well. These are kind of somewhere in between, which is quite good. You just need a rough dice. They're going to be blended later on, so you don't have to be too fussy about how you dice them. But as long as they're even sizes so they cook nice and evenly. And the next ingredient, onion, I'm going to dice these as well. Large onion, or I've got two smallish ones. Again, just a rough dice will do with these. And for garlic, I'm going to use about 3 medium-sized bulbs, but add garlic to taste, bearing in mind chorizo normally has garlic flavours in there, and depending on what stock you've got, you might have some garlic in there, but go heavier if you like. It's very Portuguese to have lots of garlic. And I'm going to thinly slice the garlic. There's a skin on chorizo, and just make a little fine line along the sausage and you should be able to peel it off. There we go. And that just assists with cooking it evenly. And just chopping up the chorizo into discs. Try and keep them fairly even. But there's always going to be a bit which is a strange shape. And the cabbage, I'm going to pick the leaves off, give them a rinse. So I'll come back when I've done that and then we'll chop them up. And the absolute key to this is that it's got to be a really fine chop. So I hope I can do that justice with my knife skills, which are not brilliant, but let's give it a go. Some of these greens have really thick stalks, but they're lovely and tender. Don't throw them away. They're absolutely delicious, even raw. Just full of that vibrant flavour, and it's not a particularly strong flavour, not like some cabbages. Really nice and delicate and balanced. I've seen people making this and they roll them up into a tight ball and people just literally hold them to their chest and cut. I'm not skilled enough to do that. I'm going to take it a little bit more slowly and try and get the fine chop on them, but I am going to roll them up because that is the way to cut these nice and fine. The tighter you roll these, the more easy it is to do a fine cut. But as you can see, I'm not especially experienced at doing this, but it'll be fine. And the Portuguese will judge you on how fine you cut to this, so try and get it right. But it also makes it more pleasant to eat. Growing up, it was always a prize to get the cabbage stalk as a treat from the Sunday lunch. And I remember us kids would be playing outside and somebody would rush in and come out with the prize of a cabbage stalk, and everybody would be really jealous if their parents weren't cooking the same. So now we've prepped everything, it's time to get cooking. I'm going to use a heavy bottomed pan and put a decent glug of olive oil into the bottom of it. And the first thing we're going to do is fry up the chorizo, just to get it to release some of its oil and to crisp it up a little bit. Going to put the pan on a medium heat. Portugal has the most wonderful olive oil and olives. I'm lucky enough to have got a harvest from the olive trees in the storm house and put it into the cooperative oil pressing at the lagar. So maybe some of my olive trees olive oil is in here, who knows. Regardless, it's all delicious. And you want to crisp up the sausage a little bit on either side, so I'm just getting them flat in the pan. A medium heat should suffice. And you can see that the chorizo is releasing that beautiful red colour into the oil. And once the chorizo is cooked, just grab it out with a slotted spoon, because you want the oil, which has now been infused with the chorizo, to be in the pan, ready to cook up the onions and garlic and everything and impart that wonderful flavour. Just put these to the side and they get added later. And there's the most stunning sunset. Beautiful. And into the pan with the onion. And make sure that's all nicely coated for about 5 minutes until they've become a bit more translucent. I'm going to add a little bit of salt at this stage. And a little bit of pepper. And that's to taste. That's looking good. So we're in with the garlic. And give that a stir. And one ingredient I didn't mention, and it's optional, is some white wine. I'm just going to deglaze the pan with that. Just give it a minute to let the alcohol cook off, and that just leaves the flavour. And then in with the potatoes and stock. I'm just going to add a little bit more stock because you want the potatoes to be covered. Let's pop the lid on to bring that up to temperature. It takes about 10 to 15 minutes, depending on how hard your potatoes are, to make them nice and soft, so that we can then puree all this down, and then we add in the green cabbage. Whilst that comes to the boil, if I could ask you to give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel so you can see future videos, and it really helps my channel to grow. I'd love you to come along with me on my journey of starting over here in Portugal. As you can tell, the lights changed, sundown, and so it's just going to be great timing for supper tonight. Just going to check, see if the potatoes are ready. Using my little knife, they're ready. Next stage, I'm going to go in with the stick blender And what you want to do is just blend everything till it's nice and smooth. That looks good to me. Next is popping in the cabbage. This looks good. Let's mix this in. This needs to be heated so that the cabbage softens. Give it a thorough mix in. Wow, can you hear the cicadas? I know I've been through a lot with the storms and everything, but it's amazing here. So a gentle heat through. You can already see the green emerging in the soup. If you need to thin it, you can add a touch of water at this stage. And I'm just going to bring that one up to the boil. We are there. Give it a good stir around. Just need to pop in the chorizo. I'm just going to give that a minute to infuse off heat. This is ready. Let's dish up. Smells amazing. Let's go in for a taste. Oh, it looks creamy, glossy. Absolutely delicious. Really like that. It's a simple soup. It's nutritious and it's very cheap to make. So if you're on a budget, ideal. And the great thing about soup is you can freeze it if you make it in bulk if you need to. And it's a great nutritious family meal that's warming and wholesome and very iconic, this soup in Portugal, and that's no surprise to me because this is awesome. Go try, let me know how you get on, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and more videos on the way from the garden and from the kitchen and in my journey in Portugal, starting over and trying to make a garden that produces food that I can bring to my table. Take care and be seeing you.